जय गुरुजी महाराज, Namaste Guruji, Namaste Sat Sangat ji. Today we have gathered again, yet again, by Maharaj's grace for the reading and narration of next chapter of this beautiful Granth, Blessing Ready for Divinity by Commander Uncle. हम सबके लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है, बहुत ही खुशी की और बहुत ही महाराज की कृपा की बात है कि आज आरती कपूर आंटी इस चैप्टर की रीडिंग कर रही हैं। किसी वजह बिजी होने के कारण वो लाइव नहीं हो पा रही, इसलिए उन्होंने रिकॉर्डिंग भेजी है, पर उनके द्वारा ये रीडिंग की गई हमारे लिए और भी ज़्यादा इन चैप्टर्स में और भी ज़्यादा रस जो कमांडर अंकल ने इतने प्यार से, इतनी महाराज की महिमा इतनी ब्यूटीफुली पेन डाउन की है, और इन सबको आरती कपूर आंटी की जुबान से सुनने में और भी मजा है। और आई थिंक नॉट टेकिंग मच टाइम, आई विल रिक्वेस्ट द होस्ट to please play recording of reading by Aarti Kapoor Aunty. Thank you, Shukrana Maharaj, for yet another opportunity. Thank you very much. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. I request host to kindly play the recording of reading of this chapter by Aarti Kapoor Aunty. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji, Sangat ji. We have not received the recording from Aunty, so we will take Agya from Guruji. I request all the Sangat to
Aunty,
unmute themselves. Hanji, Aunty.
Aunty, I don't know if it goes with the protocol. अगर आप कहते हैं तो I have book right in my hands with the chapter opened. So
yes, then
instead
Aunty,
of
you can, you can start the
so
reading
instead
of
of
the book.
missing it, may I? May I?
Yes, sure, Aunty, sure.
Because Sakshi auntie had texted me that recording shall be played.
Yeah,
So,
even she told
जी,
me, but we haven't received it yet
जी.
from
So जैसे
Aunty.
महाराज का हुक्म, इसमें भी कोई
Hanji,
हुक्म
Aunty.
कोई महाराज की मर्जी होगी. So the chapter is the connection. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj for this seva. Taking blessing readiness to the next level travels a distinct path. Devotees used to invite Guruji to major events so that these were blessed with his divine presence and all auspiciousness attended upon them. When their children were to be married, devotees would give the first invitation to Maharaj and present extra cards so that Guruji could distribute to the Sangat at his discretion. It took a while before I also received an invite for a different sort of travel to attend a wedding by a fellow devotee in Hoshiarpur, Punjab. I was excited. I planned to travel first to the wedding, then pay my respects at the Jalandhar Mandir, stay the night in that town, and thereafter return to Delhi. Although the card must have been given to many, I was the first of the Sangat to reach the wedding venue. To my surprise, the attendees looked at me all agog, as they knew I had come from Delhi and had been sent by Maharaj. They began saying that Guruji had come. I looked around to see if Maharaj had really arrived, but no, they were jubilant at having me there on his behalf, hugging me and treating me like royalty. Everything was first offered to me. I received a welcome that has never been repeated. It dawned on me then that I was part of Guru's Sangat and was representing my Guru at this function. Being alone gave me that added sense of responsibility. After a while, I saw another devotee from Delhi, Shiv Uncle, who had also come there with his daughter. We began sharing our satsang and talked about Guruji and forgot about everything else. Shiv Uncle had planned to leave Hoshiarpur by 2 p.m. by bus to be able to catch a train to Delhi from Ludhiana. We engrossed in doing satsang, and at some point I got concerned that he would miss his train. I reminded Shiv Uncle that he might miss his 2 o'clock bus, to which he made a telling statement of faith. Getting to Delhi was not his, but Guruji's concern. It was Guruji who would make sure he got to the train, and he was going to complete the satsang. That kind of trust in Guruji was something I was witnessing for the first time. When Shiv Uncle started from the venue, he was already behind schedule by 15 minutes. I offered that he accompany me to Jalandhar, where I had a room booked. We could return to Delhi together the day after. He refused, saying he had to return that very day. I went to Jalandhar as planned, visited Mandir, and returned to Gurgaon the next day. When I next met Shiv Uncle, I asked him about his return journey. He told me that on his way back from Hoshiarpur, the bus had a flat tire, delaying him further. The driver briefly inspected the tire twice, but pressed on at slow speed without replacing the flat tire. Then the bus dropped him a few kilometers away from the Ludhiana railway station, forcing him to make a dash by an auto rickshaw. By now, he was well past the scheduled departure time of his train. Shiv Uncle picked up his daughter in his arms and ran onto the platform. He saw the train moving towards Delhi, but the train came to a halt with his coach right in front of him. He entered the coach and had barely occupied his seat. The train lunged forward. The feeling was as if the engine, held back against its will by some external force, was released as soon as Uncle occupied in his seat. Shiv Uncle remembers to this date the pressure he felt on his chest when the train took off like a rocket. Coincidence? No way. The train could not have departed without Shiv Uncle. Maharaj would not let it go without his devotee. The faith Shiv Uncle displayed in Guruji that day taught me a huge lesson. I realized if I leave everything in Guruji's hand, then Guruji will take care of everything. If I don't, then he won't. It is as simple as that. So just have faith and let it be. This point was brought home again a little later. My father had a prostate enlargement problem due to which he had trouble passing urine. Doctors suspected prostate cancer. For the first time, I requested him to come to Guruji Maharaj. I had not told him earlier because I wasn't sure if he would agree or worse, say something unacceptable. So, with folded hands, I pleaded him to come with me to Guruji and take his blessings, which would heal him. He agreed, and I took him to Guruji. Guruji even spoke to him. He had langar and did so a few more times when he came to Guruji. Guruji blessed him, and of course, his reports turned out to be negative for cancer. He was operated on for the enlargement, and everything was fine. Sometime later, a holy man came to Ghaziabad, and unknown to me, my father visited him to seek his blessings as well. Soon enough, the problem reoccurred. When he spoke to me about it, I was upset yet helpless. When father had already been to Guruji and received his blessings, where was the need to go anywhere else? This time, his report turned out positive. I believe Guruji had stopped the malignancy in its track, but leaving Guruji and going elsewhere unblocked it. My father had to be operated upon, and that led to major health issues. He endured the suffering for a while, eventually succumbing to its consequences. All I could ask him was, why? Whosoever you want to have faith in and trust yourself to that one alone, everything will be fine. This is the reason Guruji said, just have faith in one form of the divine. Choose carefully, though, because this choice will decide where you are headed. You will go wherever your Guru takes you. This point is also highlighted in the Bhagavad Gita. It occurs during a conversation between Lord Krishna and his disciple Arjuna. Krishna tells Arjuna, you will get to whomsoever you worship. Those who worship me come to me, but those who worship multiple gods get nowhere. Choose wisely, but once you have chosen, have blind faith. There is no point in choosing somebody and wondering if you made the right choice or whether you need a second opinion. People who go here, there, and everywhere find no succor. So that lesson was learned by me from my father's case, albeit the hard way. On the next occasion, I got an invitation for a wedding in Punjab, something I always looked forward to. I was not alone. Four of us, Wing Commander Anil Arora, Commander Vimal Nagpal, Vijay Pushkarna, and myself, traveled together to Punjab. Traveling would take up a major portion of our time, so we could have at best 2 to 3 hours for the function. 10 o'clock had to be cut-off time at night. I used to monitor that exit time since I was the elder in the group. That arrangement worked very well on all but one such visit. More on that little later. On this trip to Punjab, we first decided to call on Air Marshal Anil Chopra, Air Commodore at that time, commanding the Air Force Station at Halwara, and a blessed devotee of Guruji Maharaj. With Guruji's blessings, Chopra uncle had recovered from a near fatal case of hepatitis in a very short time. Later, Chopra uncle had asked Guruji the reason for his almost instant recovery and complete cure. There were many others who had been around much longer and still waiting. Guruji had simply replied, when I looked at you, I immediately knew that you were ready for blessings, so I could bless you immediately. Guruji loves all his devotees and showers his blessings equally. It is our level of blessing readiness that decides how much and how quickly we are able to absorb. There, Guruji blessed us with his presence through his unique fragrance. From Halwara, we thought of visiting Dugri, Guruji's birthplace, which was not far. There was a challenge enough. No one from the Sangat could go to Dugri without Guruji's express permission first, and we had none. We just folded our hands, closed our eyes, and said, Maharaj, we want to visit Dugri. Please grant us Agya. Mahar- Permission taken. We then headed to Dugri. We knew no one there as it was a first visit. Yet on arrival, we were received by Ashwini uncle. He was there to receive us under instruction from Maharaj. He was asked to receive us and show us around. In fact, Guruji had given Ashwini uncle a complete schedule of our planned visit to Dugri. We had prayed to Guruji only an hour before, but he had instructed Ashwini uncle well in advance, who therefore had put it in our minds that we go to Dugri. Sorry, who therefore had put it in our minds that we go to Dugri? Of course, Maharaj himself. Ashni uncle had travelled from Chandigarh to Dugri, and we followed his schedule at Guruji's sacred birthplace. The mandir in Dugri was under construction. We met village elders and learned much about the childhood years of Maharaj. We saw places where Maharaj had done tapasya and the place where he was born. The first time is always so special. We clicked invaluable photographs. Then we went to Malerkotla, had langar, and headed back to the marriage function. This was the first time we were traveling together. It was important that we depart on time for over 8 hours of return journey by car to Gurgaon. Being the elder in the group, I was concerned. I proposed that we depart at 10 p.m. from the venue, but found myself to be the only one prepared to depart by 10 p.m. A few minutes before 10 p.m., I came back to our vehicle, rested my back against it, and prayed to Guruji. Guruji, we must leave by 10 to reach back by 6 in the morning. Almost on cue, there was an announcement that Guruji has instructed his Sangat from Delhi to depart by 10 p.m. Guruji's orders were sacrosanct and could not be defied, and we departed by 10. After that, our departure from Sangat functions was always at 10 o'clock. Maharaj comes to know what you are thinking. He also comes to know what you are going to think subsequently. I am now pretty sure that the thought in our mind that we should be visiting Dugri was put in by Maharaj. He wanted us to go there. When I returned on Saturday, I bowed to Guruji, and as I stood up, Guruji smiled and asked, Pind Gyasi, you went to the village? I could only muster a grateful nod. He knew it all along. He had planned it for us. We felt so blessed. One of the last invitations that we got from Guruji Maharaj was for the function in the month of July 2007. We were specifically told by Maharaj to take our wives along. Before we could attend that function, Maharaj had taken Mahasamadhi. On all earlier occasions, we had gone without our wives. We were yet to fully reconcile to Guruji's sudden departure. I promised myself to keep quiet in case our stay extended beyond 10 p.m. Guruji was, of course, still in charge. To my surprise, the hostess announced about 10 minutes before 10 p.m. that the Sangat from Delhi should depart at 10 p.m. It was just astounding. It's not just a question of the big things in a life. Guruji lovingly controls every small detail of our lives. The constant theme that I keep reverting to is that we are never far away from the Guru's mind. He's always thinking about us and looking at ways to improve our lives in the best possible ways. Guru jaisa nahi koi dev. There is no divine like Guruji. However, his blessings work best when devotees' connection is direct, exclusive, and one to one. Blessing readiness follows. So, with this, we come to the end of the delegated chapter for today. Uh, जितना भी महाराज के चरणों में मैं कोटि कोटि प्रणाम और शुक्राना करूं वो कम है। ये सेवा आज कैसे महाराज ने मेरे झोली में डाल दी, ये महाराज को ही पता है। ऑल आई कैन से इज कि इस सेवा से कुछ देर पहले ही मैं जलंधर मंदिर से होके आ रही हूँ, और जलंधर मंदिर एंटर जब मैं की हूँ तो यही माइंड में आ रहा था कि जो सत्संग सुनते हैं, संगत ऐसे ही तो चल के आती थी और हम अब आते हैं और महाराज आप वहां हो, देख रहे हो। एंड उससे पहले आज सुबह एयर मार्शल अनिल चोपड़ा अंकल का सत्संग था जूम पे, और उसमें उन्होंने मेंशन किया था इस कमांडर अंकल की बुक के बारे में, और स्पेसिफिकली पॉइंट आउट करते कहा था कि गुरुजी का जो जो आज कमांडर अंकल का चैप्टर अभी हमने पढ़ा है उसमें जो मेंशन है वही मैंने अनिल चोपड़ा अंकल के सत्संग में, औरों ने भी सुना होगा, सुबह सुना। सो हर चीज कैसे गुरुजी डॉट्स कनेक्ट करते हैं, कैसे गुरुजी जिसको जब सेवा देनी होती है हम कितने भी शेड्यूल बना लें, मैं आज सोच भी नहीं सकती थी कि ये रीडिंग आज मैं करने वाली हूँ, और किस तरह से महाराज की आज्ञा हुई, क्यों हुई, ये महाराज को पता है। एंड यस, वॉट एवर द रीजन इट मे होल्ड, बहुत 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 शुक्राना है महाराज का एंड कितने ज्यादा रिलेटेबल हैं ये सब। इसके साथ शायद महाराज ने मुझे एक बात मैं बहुत दिनों से सबके आगे बोल रही थी, तो शायद महाराज ने मुझे वो वैलिडेट भी करना होगा, बिकॉज जब हम ये लाउडली रीड करते हैं तो इट इज लाइक जो हमें ये बहुत डायरेक्ट इंस्ट्रक्शंस मिल रही हैं। तो मैं बहुत दिनों से जो भी मेरे से मिल रहा था, कोई बात हो रही थी, तो मैं एक ही बात कह रही थी कि अब जबकि महाराज ने मुझे अपना लिया है, अपने शरण और चरण में ले लिया है, मेरे से कहीं पे भी माथा नहीं टेका जाता। मैं सेकुलर नहीं रही हूँ, मैं ऐसे नहीं कर पाती हूँ कि मैं कहीं भी जाऊं, कोई भी कुछ भी कर लूं। नॉर्थ इंडियन हूँ, नहीं तो हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारी चीजों को फॉलो किया जाता है, रिचुअल्स को, हर चीज को, लेकिन मैंने सब छोड़ दिया। मेरे को हर चीज महाराज के चरणों में दिखती है। मेरे लिए दिवाली, होली, गुरपुरब, क्रिसमस, नवरात्रे, जन्माष्टमी, हर चीज गुरुजी महाराज हैं। अगर मैं ठीक हूं तो भी महाराज को पता होगा, अगर मैं गलत हूं तो वो करेक्ट कर देंगे। और अभी इस सेवा से कुछ 15-20 मिनट पहले मेरी किसी से बात हो रही थी, और तब भी मैंने यही कहा कि मेरे से अब कुछ नहीं हो पाता, सिर्फ सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक नाम में पूरा ब्रह्मांड, हर शक्ति है, सब कुछ है। मास्टर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स हैं गुरुजी महाराज। और आई डिड नॉट नो दैट आई गेट टू रीड दिस चैप्टर, जिसमें कमांडर अंकल ने भगवत गीता से लेकर गुरु जी की अपनी वाणी, उनके अपने वचन के थ्रू कहा है कि एक वन पॉइंट ऑफ फेथ बहुत जरूरी है। और सुबह अनिल चोपड़ा अंकल ने भी समझाया, इस किताब के थ्रू भी कितना क्लियर मैसेज मिला है कि हमारा वन पॉइंट ऑफ कंट्रोल, यस संगत जी, वन पॉइंट ऑफ फेथ बहुत ही जरूरी है। कि गुरु को हमें अपनाना ही पड़े हर हाल में। हमारा एंटीना इतना स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए कि महाराज जैसे उन्होंने कमांडर अंकल में अपना अच्छा सच्चा भगत पहचान लिया, या अनिल चोपड़ा अंकल को फटाफट उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने जैसे ही तुम्हें देखा इमीडिएटली मुझे पता चल गया कि इसके अंदर पूरा फेथ है। तो फेथ तो ऐसा ही होना चाहिए। एंड ये महाराज ने आज एक मेरा बहुत थॉट को वैलिडेट किया है, और बहुत लोग जिनसे मैं इस बारे में बात करती हूँ ये चैप्टर पॉइंट आउट कर पाऊंगी। सो शुक्राना महाराज, गुरु जी। आप हम सब बहुत धन्य हैं। हमने पता नहीं कितने पिछले जन्मों में कितने अच्छे कर्म किए होंगे कि हम आपसे जुड़ पाए हैं। हम ये जान पाए हैं, अपने जीते जी जान पाए हैं कि भगवान क्या होता है। वो एक ज्योत जिससे हम उपजे हैं और जिसमें हमने एक दिन विलीन होना है, वो सच्ची ज्योत कौन है महाराज? आप हो। थैंक यू गुरुजी महाराज। सब पे अपनी कृपा बनाए रखना महाराज। हमें सद्बुद्धि देना कि हम आपके मार्ग पे हमेशा अटल खड़े रहें महाराज। कभी भी हमारा जो विश्वास है वो डगमगाए ना डगमगाने देना महाराज। आपके बच्चे हैं, कोई भूल चूक किसी तरह की हो महाराज, उसके लिए क्षमा देना। थैंक यू महाराज, थैंक यू। जय गुरु जी संगत जी। Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh Uncle and entire team of Multilingual for yet another beautiful session. Thank you very much. Jai Guruji. Over to you, Ekta Aunty. जय गुरु जी। एकता आंटी, हम रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं सबको आज्ञा, शुक्राना नाज्ञा के लिए आज्ञा ले सकते हैं संगत जी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय गुरु जी महाराज। भूल चूक माफ करना महाराज। आज्ञा महाराज, आज्ञा। एकता आंटी, you can unmute all. I think there is some technical glitch. So, संगत जी, जय
जय गुरु जी, शुक्राना गुरु जी।
मेरे गुनाहों को बख्शना गुरु। थैंक यू गुरु।
जय गुरु जी, लव यू। थैंक यू आर्ची आंटी।